it worse? Did he make it worse?
Absolutely made it worse.
So he did. So,
well, blame Bush.
How are the Democrats going to run before the American people saying that the Democrats deserve another crack at the White House when the guy they've had in there, all the mess that the country is in right now, all the messes we have, were caused or exacerbated by President Obama, but the Democrats now have the solution? How could that even be believable? How is that a plausible campaign tactic, if you will?
Because they truly believe, or at least they're portraying, that they're right and everybody else is wrong, and that we are on the right track. You see, folks, this election is very easy once you think about it. Democrats want to stay on the same track. Republicans want to change course to a different way. If you've lived here for the past 7 years, you'd understand how incredibly stupid Democrats are for taking this tact. That's why I think, and I'm calling it now, Republicans taking back the White House. They're going to have all three branches of government for at least 2 years.
They will, and in those 2 years, if we have a Boehner-type speaker, we'll do nothing, and we'll lose Congress. And then, yay.
Which is a whole issue in and of itself, by the way.
But I want to just, a few more tidbits from the debate that I caught that I thought were worth mentioning.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
So, Bernie Sanders. Let's get back to him for a minute. This is painful, by the way. Do you realize this, people? Painful to even talk about these maniacs.
Painful for you, my friend. I can't believe you still did that, by the way.
Bernie Sanders, that Brooklyn rat that he is, was a conscientious objector during the Vietnam War. Yet he wants to be the commander-in-chief of the greatest military in the history of mankind. Somebody do the math and tell me how that adds up, please. I'll wait.
How do you have your military credibly follow the orders of such a commander-in-chief is what I want to know.
A conscientious... And then Webb, the lackey that he is up there, was a Marine in Vietnam, was the Secretary of the Navy, was asked about that by Anderson Cooper, and he pretty much dodged it. Because I think they all made a pact not to attack each other. That's a legitimate question that was raised by Cooper. How could you lead the military if you were a conscientious objector? He talks about coalition building. Didn't this president, doesn't he keep saying in Syria, the war against ISIL? What the hell is ISIL, by the way? It's ISIS. There's a 16-nation coalition. What does that mean? Can anyone name some of these nations for me and tell me what they've done?
See, now you told me this during the show prep. I'm trying to figure out who did what here.
Please tell me. Name any of them and tell me anything that they've done.
Yeah.
Again, I'll wait.
Yeah, we'll wait. I can't name anything about him. Another comment from the chat room. Sanders reminds me of the white version of Ho Chi Minh. That was a great comment right there. What do you think about that, Russ? And again, I'm deferring to you because you were the one subjected to at least an hour, probably more, of this whole debate. The white version of Ho Chi Minh. And by the way, this is coming from someone of Asian descent, so stop your cards and letters.
Wow, Gene.
All right, I gotta equivocate here just for a second.
That was pretty sad. I don't know if he reminds me of the white version of Ho Chi Minh, to be honest. He reminds me of a lot of other things that I'm not going to say. He's an old, bumbling fool. He's running for president. The man, I don't think, has combed his hair since he started campaigning. He likely is wearing the same suit that he's worn at several events this week. It's astonishing to me, again, that the Democratic Party, the progressive party that they claim to be, the modern, hip party that President Obama tried to claim that the Democratic Party has become, there's 4 old white men and an old white grandmother up there leading this party right now. Astonishing.
You know, one thing I want to talk about, Russ, there were some questions early on that I was listening to about the Second Amendment. And the NRA, of course, was invoked as the big boogeyman of stopping gun control, and they're responsible for all the mass shootings of the world. And of all the people up there, Jim Webb was the one that actually said something different than everybody else, and it was not really so much a gun control message. He was actually talking about letting law-abiding citizens have their guns. 1 out of 5 on the Democratic side, which seems to be about right for the ratio within the Democratic Party about the gun control issue. So in that sense, it's representative. But man, oh man, every single one of them was just nuts when it comes to this gun control issue that they're trying to push on the American people.
I do not trust Jim Webb or any Democrat, period, the end. Well, not period, the end, because I want to say some more stuff. So here's why. And we talk about this locally all the time. Even if you were to get guys like Jim Webb into the Congress, which he was a senator. Okay, so even if you have guys like that, who's their leadership? Who was the leadership in the Senate?
Right now it's...
who was it?
Oh, who was it? Harry Reid.
It was Harry Reid. Who's the leadership in the House for the Democratic Party? Nancy Pelosi. So you could have some moderate Democrats in the Senate and the House, but who leads them? Anti-gun, anti-capitalist, anti-religion, pro-killing babies and selling their body parts, pro-higher taxes, pro-big government, anti-United States military, pro-illegal immigration leadership. That's who leads the party. So you can never trust a guy like Webb, whatever he says on gun issues. He voted for Harry Reid to be in the leadership of the Senate. And so does every supposed moderate, if there are any left, in the House vote for people like Nancy Pelosi. It's only the Republican Party that can't get their act together when they win majorities and actually get conservative leadership. It's only the Republican Party that refuses to get conservative leadership when they win these elections.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to have more news and views from the Dem debate. And we're also going to talk about an article that Russ Gallo wrote on our blog, www.behindthemillionsradio.us. And as we go to break, I just want to let everybody know that apparently one commenter in our chat room thinks that Bernie Sanders is heads and shoulders above the rest. Oh, wait, no. That he should use head and shoulders because there might be a little bit of a flaking issue during the debate. I don't know about all that. Gene and Russ, Behind Enemy Lines. We'll be back right after these brief words from a couple of sponsors.
This Save Us Chuck Minute is brought to you by Australian Dream Arthritis Cream. My fellow Americans, good old Hillary Clinton seems to have misplaced 2 whole months of emails that coincide with the events in Libya. That, or she didn't send a single email for 60 days. What an odd coincidence. It goes along with the thinking that if there's no body, there's no murder. And Hillary did a great job of getting rid of that body before anyone knew where to even look. In the midst of this, General David Petraeus' resignation and misdemeanor conviction is back in the news. What happened to Petraeus and the ridiculous double standards that's playing out with Hillary brings up some questions. Was it just a smear campaign on the part of the Obama administration to batter Petraeus enough to keep him out of the presidential run? That certainly would help Hillary's 2016 bid, which was predicted after she lost the first time. So, here's to history repeating itself. I'm drinking orange juice. I'm Chuck Woolery. You want to hear more? Get my new podcast, Blunt Force Truth, now at iTunes and Stitcher, or visit bluntforcetruth.com.
Are you among the 64% of Americans who believe our country is going in the wrong direction? If yes, then eVoiceAmerica.com is the political take-action site we've all been waiting for. And it's really free. eVoice America provides your personal list of elected reps every time you log on. This makes it so easy to email your opinions and e-votes on top issues directly to each of our D.C. elected representatives. eVoice then publishes our e-vote majority percentages on top issues to each member of Congress and the media. Now, for the first time in history, we can know what millions of American citizens are telling Congress. No more gridlock. Join the new American majority using eVoiceAmerica.com, putting Americans in control of Congress. Visit eVoiceAmerica.com today. It's free and easy to use. That's eVoiceAmerica.com.
Hey everybody, Gene Baradelli here, and for those of you who know me, who have met me at a conference around the country, or have just even seen my photo online, you know I'm not the most fit guy in the world. In fact, exercise and I are not good friends at all. But I'm starting to do it more, and I'm starting to eat right, and I'm going to start taking Diabetics from Green Turtle Bay Vitamin Company. Diabetics is the first FDA-authorized multivitamin supplement for diabetics and for those like me who are predisposed to diabetes and have difficulty absorbing nutrients. Diabetics contains ingredients not included in multivitamin formulas for the general public and is unique for people like me who have diabetes running in their family. So I'm going to start eating right, I'm going to start taking diabetics, I'm going to start exercising more, and I'm going to take you on this journey with me. That's Diabetics with a K, one of the many great supplements from Green Turtle Bay Vitamin Company. For more information, check out www.energywave.com. Behind Enemy Lines. Back on the air. Gene and Russ, back behind enemy lines, and the crazy quotient today, Russ, is just off the charts. It's just absolutely nuts watching this debate. I mean, my God. Okay, tell us how you did it. How were you able to actually sit there, not move, and listen to what these people were saying?
It's nearly impossible not to get nauseous. Let me talk about the first bit of hypocrisy. It came right from the jump from Bernie Sanders.
Absolutely.
Debate opens up, and he starts complaining about the disastrous decision in the Citizens United case, which has made, super PACs, and he claims political corruption rampant from campaign contributions. My question to you, counselor, is this, Mr. Berdelli. How come when the Democrats like a Supreme Court decision, that decision is labeled settled law, like abortion? But how come when a decision they disagree with comes down the pipe, it's disastrous, it was Republicans that somehow did it, it was Supreme Court nominees picked by Bush who did this for the evil Republican Party? Even though the super PACs overwhelmingly support Democrats as well, how do they get away with this?
It reminds me of some news that I saw last week, Russ, about an FEC filing for a political action committee that was against campaign finance. It's just totally nonsensical and moronic. It's one of those things where you just can't explain it. Yes, they hate the law, but they're going to take advantage of it left and right as much as they can. It's like someone going to Congress and saying that, global warming is settled science, but yet for the past 12 years, there has been no global warming whatsoever. And that actually did happen in the past week as well. So the fact that it's crazy doesn't stop the Democrats from still pushing it, Russ.
I definitely want to do a global warming show again. Every once in a while,
the science is settled. We're not doing another global warming show, Russ.
Do one.
It's settled. Listen, Al Gore said it. He told me so. He wouldn't lie to me.
Let's talk about Hillary Clinton for a second here. I know we're jumping all over.
Can we?
Madam Clinton.
I believe she likes to be called Secretary.
Secretary Clinton, shortstop for what's the town upstate she lives in?
Is she in Chappaqua?
The Chappaqua Brawlers, whatever softball team she's on. Mrs. Clinton, you recently did a piece where you are talking to young college-aged women saying, you deserve to be believed if you say you were raped. Now, I get it. There's a war on men, and that's what you like to do, the war on men, right? So, if those young women deserve to be believed if they say they were raped, what about the countless women that have accused your husband of raping them? Do they not deserve to be believed?
And what about the staffers that claim that they covered it up and then later regretted it and came public with it, and you are now calling crackpots? I believe Catherine Willey would fall into that category.
And Jennifer Flowers and several others who claim that they were either harassed, groped, or raped.
Yes, what kind of example is Hillary Clinton to be a soldier for the war on women?
This is clearly a war on men.
But isn't this clearly also a zero credibility issue? Here you go, Russ. This should be a simple one for anyone who's running for president. Name me one issue that Hillary Clinton has been credible on in her political career.
The reset with Russia for 500, Gene.
The answer is incorrect.
But wait a minute. She was asked about that tonight, and her answer was, well, back then it was President Medvedev, whatever the hell his name was, and we were doing lots of good things with him.
Wasn't he a right-winger for the Rangers, Medvedev? Never mind.
What she forgot to mention was that this guy that was the president at that time, Putin was the prime minister, and he was still controlling the country. Does anyone not remember when President Obama, before the election of 2012, was on stage with Putin. No, Medvedev.
Yeah.
And leaned over and said, after this election, there'll be a lot more room for flexibility. What did he mean by that?